So here is Chris Mathews. He's upset. He's upset with the way the kids today are doing the sex scandals. He's upset. Let's listen to what he says.
About if it's private. If it's private, I say this about all these people who get in trouble publicly, whether it's with Monica who talks and blabs to her friend. It's not public. It's not private if we know all about it.
See, that's Chris Mathews. Now, if we know about it, somehow it's not private. And I love how he goes, how Monica blabbed to her friends. You know, were you kidding? She's having sex with the most powerful man in the universe. She's going to tell somebody. Most college girls think it's a big deal when they're fucking a bartender. Are you kidding me? Yeah, she's going to blab about it, Chris.
That's true. That's true. I have history homework, and I blew the president. That's all in the same sentence.
Yes.
Really. But we know what I love about that is that Chris Mathews, he has the White House coming out of his head. What I love is the White House is apparently right behind his head.
Coming out of his head. Yeah, he's.
That's all I got.
What, Ryan, you look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just don't understand his idea of private and how he thinks things get out there, you know? It's almost like he's blaming technology for the fact that we have sex scandals.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that two people who shouldn't be hooking up are hooking up.
Yeah.
It's almost like saying, you know, pedophiles back in the day had it difficult because they had to live on the outskirts of town and sneak in at night and peek into windows and maybe they'll get caught. And these pedophiles today, they could just get on the internet and look at it's really foul the way they do it these days. I mean,
lazy.
But it's the same. It's the same problem.
Yeah.
So he has a moral compass that's pointing magnetic south.
Well, he goes on. Now, remember the standard here is if Chris Mathews knows about it, it's not private. So he goes on to tell you how to do an affair the right way.
Let me give you an example of discretion.
Yeah.
Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy had an affair that you're laughing because you're so grown up you can't handle this thing, can you? Because this is how people used to do
so
things.
Young.
They had you're so young. They had a quiet affair that went on for years, if not decades. They would meet and they'd go to each other's hotel rooms. They didn't shack up. They had separate hotel rooms. They never went out to dinner. And all those years they didn't embarrass their spouses, his spouse, or anything because they wanted to keep it private. That's what's called private.
Yeah, but we know about it now. We know about it now. So by your definition, it is no longer private. And now their relatives are embarrassed, and it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so by your own standard, Chris Mathews, they didn't keep it private because you fucking know about it.
But why aren't there ratings? Because I didn't know about it until I saw him. They had an affair. What's wrong with them?
Well,
they had families.
So what he's saying is, in the old days, people respected each other enough to be really sneaky.
Yeah.
You mean to be repressive and then kill themselves over their own sexuality?
Yeah,
You mean that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
When you keep it down
Keep it
and then you have
under
to kill
wraps.
yourself?
Yeah.
Can't we just go back to an era when movie stars, during the Roosevelt era, when everybody had the same morality as movie stars? That's what he's saying. Right?
Well, that's when America was strong.
Yes.
Apparently.
And not to mention, didn't he write a book about John F. Kennedy?
Yes, he did. And he knows about hypocrisy as well as anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
Kennedy,
nobody
the
ever found
family
out about
man,
John
you
F.
know.
Kennedy, right? Nobody ever found out about that, did we?
Not while he was alive.
No one ever found out who killed him,
Yeah, this guy.
except Oliver Stone.
Anyway, Chris Mathews couldn't blow enough smoke up John F. Kennedy's asshole, but here he is shitting on Monica Lewinsky and Anthony Weiner and everybody else. The way you do. I mean, nobody could have been more reckless than John F. Kennedy with his sexual exploits.
Now, do you think, let me ask you something. I mean, as a journalist, not that he's a journalist, but do you think he goes out to dinner and he says, boy, wasn't that great, that show? I was really good, wasn't
Chris
I?
Mathews?
Yeah, I mean, is he a different guy off camera?
No,
He better be.
I hope so.
Maybe a better one.
Yeah,
I hope
maybe
it's
better.
just for ratings, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
No, I think he's just the biggest idiot everywhere he goes.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, this is the guy who couldn't figure out that there was a pedophile scandal happening in the Catholic Church until last year. Chris Mathews didn't figure it out.
No
This
one
is a
was
true
more
story.
surprised than Chris Mathews that priests were doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, because they keep it secret.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which is very
And they should keep
It's a private event. They're not
don't go out to
texting
dinner.
each other. They're
You
not
don't go out to
bragging.
dinner, you go to a hotel room.
Yeah.
Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy worked with the priests years ago, and they kept it very
Very
private.
quick. They
People
taught
were-
a class.
They had a class.
For the priests.
Look, this is how it's done.
Spencer Tracy sometimes the class would be delayed a week because he was on a bender.
Yeah.
But he's a decent guy. He kept that secret too.
What do you think Pat and Mike is about, that movie? You
That's
think
right.
it's about Babe Beatrice and Harrius?
No.
It's about private sex in a
That's right.
clubhouse in Philadelphia.